Hello, Jenny Hall here for Honeybee Stamps, and I'm really excited to share some Christmas tags with you. I'm going to stamp with the Pretty Poinsettia Stamps and Dies, the Woodland Winter Animals Stamps and Dies, which is one of my favorites this year. I'm also using the Santa's Village Stamps and Dies. And you can see that I've already stamped and colored a selection from each set. I'm also bringing in No Peeking Stamps and Dies. So here's a look at all of the images that I've colored. I've just took a few spare minutes here and there, stamped out the images with some Memento Tuxedo Black ink onto Express It blending cardstock. Now I'm going to show you how I created the fancy tags. We've got some fancy tags and some simple tags. So I used a double stitch die, cut 2 pieces from the same size, then grabbed one size smaller and cut a hole out in the middle. That's going to give us a frame. I've also used the A2 scalloped rectangle dies to create some really simple tags. So we'll have 2 sets of tags. We'll have some simple tags and some fancy tags. I took a few minutes off camera to kind of match up what I can put together with, like, what would fit on what kind of tag. And there's 12 tags total that we're going to make today. And we're going to start out with the simple tags. The simple tags are just cut from 1 layer of cardstock, and this is 80-pound Neenah. And I'm going to add some ink blending, and it's real super easy, real simple, real fast. Just some ink that's concentrated on one side and fades out on another. So by adding some tea-dye Distress Oxide just to the bottom and then fading it up towards the top, and then I'm going to adhere one of the images that I've colored onto the bottom area of the tag. Then there you go. It's super quick and easy. We're going to fill this in assembly line fashion today. And that's because I want to show you exactly how quick it is to sit down, make some die cuts, and walk away and maybe go do something else. And sit down and do a little ink blending on all these tags at once, and then go do something else. And then just come back to it. It's so easy to have the time, little snippets of time, just to get these things accomplished. And having your own gift tags is a wonderful feeling. I'm switching over to some blue ink, and this is Tumbled Glass Distress Oxide, because I thought that the blue background would look not only a variety for me, but it would look nice on some of the images versus having the tea dye. Now I'm going to kind of strategically place a few of the images. I kind of colored them at random, and I just kind of took the items off of the stamp sets that I showed at the beginning of the video and stamped them down thinking this will fit on a card, or this will fit on a tag. And that was my reasoning for what I chose to stamp and color. Now I am going to use some of the smaller sentiments that were in those same stamp sets that I shared at the beginning of the video and of the images that we're looking at now. I chose to use these because they fit. And so I kind of just saw what would fit on what size, and that's what I chose to go with. I grabbed a hole punch out of my stash and put 1 hole at the top area of each one of these tags. And now I'm using this sparkle pen from Spectrum Noir and adding some sparkle, and it does have a really super shiny sparkle. I'm not adding it on every one of the images that's on each tag, but I'm making sure to hit something on each tag. And that was also done assembly line. And now I've grabbed some twine. And what I like best about making tags is I can take something that's already in my stash and put it to really good use. So that was a look at the 6 very simple tags that we've created so far. So now let's take it a step up for maybe you have more time, or maybe you have a gift that you really want to put more time into, that you want to make a tag. So let's take our ink blending up a notch and add more than one color. So I've got one of the Palm Hexagon blender brushes from Honeybee Stamps, and now I'm going to add some water droplets and pick them up, and then add some diluted acrylic paint and just add some splatters. I'm trying to keep the splatters away from the very top of the tag because that's where I know I'm going to stamp my greeting. So that'll be easy for me to keep it there. One great thing about this design is that you can make these into shaker cards, or you can take the frame portion and glue it down directly, or pop it up with some foam adhesive like I'm sharing with you here, and then add some more of the images, and it has a totally elegant and really polished look to it. Something that's definitely a step up from the first version. Now, the first version of tags are really great. I'm not knocking them, but it depends on the time that somebody has to sit down. So I wanted to be sure to share a large variety of techniques here. Being as I want to do this on a short amount of time, I'm going to adhere with some liquid glue the frame area to all of these tags. And you can see here the different shapes and how cool it looks to have them. I kind of get stuck in a rut whenever I use tags and gift wrapping, and I tend to make all of the gift wrapping, I pick out one favorite pattern, and then I'll just wrap everything with that. And I don't want everybody to feel like their gift was all made from the same. Like they'll say, oh, we know who that gift is from because I used all the same wrapping paper. So in order to mix things up, that's why I used a variety of shapes on these tags. So you can see here that just like the first version that's much more simple, I'm going to add the sparkle pen, and that's going to really bring these tags to life. And they are a step up. They do look much more polished. They could be shaker cards with this design if you chose to make a shaker. But for my time limitations, this was what I could afford. Now, here is a handmade gift. This is some sugared pecans that I've made to give out to all my neighbors this year. And I love that this little tag design fits perfectly on them. Now let's take a look through at all of the tags so far. They all have a beautiful background, whether it's tricolor or just one color of Distress Oxide ink. All have the splatters, all have that sparkle pen. Look how pretty those little flowers are. Oh, I just love that. It's one of my favorites. And it's so easy to sit down and create. All we need is the spark of an idea. So grab your favorite stamps from Honeybee Stamps, no matter whether they're made for a tag or not, and choose a design and make your own Christmas tags. So here are the 12 that we've made today, and I would love to hear whether you like the simple ones or the fancy ones. Thanks for watching.